If you have watched the last video and liked the results, you might ask yourself at this point, what does this system actually do? To answer that, let's go to the settings and turn on the visual mode. 14 years would be a bit much now. Let's take 2024. I prefer the euro, US dollar, because it is the most traded currency in the Forex sector. And I trade on the 1-hour chart because I believe that this is a period that most people take into account. And trading is partly about psychology, even though there are now a great many automated systems on the market. I have set a random delay here. I want to trade every single tick, in other words every price change, and my default value here is 10,000 US dollars. You can also switch this to euros. Now I'll just click on Start Test, and I also want to use visual mode. And what we see here is the so-called strategy tester. In the upper area we see the individual candles. Each of them represents an hour. We have two moving averages here. These are calculated in such a way that there is a larger and a smaller long-term average, and these two averages can be used to determine the long-term trend direction. Here in the lower window we see the Williams percent range oscillator. This has recently become my favorite oscillator for entries and, in my opinion, works very, very well. And up here in the area we see all the text output. You can see here that buy and sell signals are generated, and what is happening now is exactly what I said earlier. We see a myriad of positions being traded, and for a human being it would be hard to bear at this point, because the account could potentially suffer quite a lot of damage here. But as we can see, it has been resolved, and in the end result we should now see this drawdown appearing on the chart. Our system has recovered here and is now trading again. By the way, this is a problem with the Linux version. The display above is not really stable, because normally we would have to see a few more sliders, and the display for the market data is also gone. However, we should be finished with our test in a moment, because it only takes about 30 minutes and we have already arrived in November. And at this point, most people would get scared and close their accounts. Unfortunately, such drawdowns cannot be avoided. There are always major or minor slumps in equity. Here my controller has now reappeared and I'm trying to speed it up. Of course, I now have 20 other programs running on my computer in addition to the recording software and the MetaTrader, and that puts a lot of strain on this Windows emulation. But we don't have to go through with this now. The main thing is to explain how it works. It says up here that my license is about to expire. This has to do with the fact that the robot trading system is a system for end customers, and each of them gets a separate license for an account. I'll extend it for myself right away, and the next video will be about the basics of making trading decisions here. That's it for this video, and I'll see you again in the next video.